crowd pleaser always there. Pudge, Marci, Riki. We fell into a different patch. I don't know what's going on.
I have never felt more like a pub game draft than this one. Oh, that got really red. Somebody must have.
Oh no! First blood given up. Bet boom lose their Muerta. Well, that was a bit of a spoiler.
That happened. Oh, I like the aesthetic though. They're just on camera, like everything just went red while we're talking to you guys.
I feel like that's what happens in your brain every time it's you and Suns fan, and he like says something.
Oh
crazy.
yeah, I mean, the lights are red all the time when I'm casting with him, but you know, with you it's only situational. Yeah. Okay. So to elaborate a little bit on what I was saying, there's a lot of pub favorite heroes here, right? As we are going to see the replay at this point of what just transpired.
A lot of pub favorites, and one of them right there. Ollie able to get the pullback onto and through the brambles.
Okay, it's one thing to get a Pudge pick and you're like, oh wow, they picked Pudge. And then the immediate response is Riki.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the other thing for me. It's not just that there was a Pudge, it's that both teams are really going off script here and trying something completely different. It's always fun to see. It feels like when you see a draft like this, you're always... It's really high risk, high reward for both teams, right? So it's, oh, nice hook!
Man, that's one that you want to see right away. Finding 23, but can't quite do enough. And the dispose from Ollie forces him back. Still a lot of damage onto that Dark Willow. You know, it's interesting, because when we saw the Pudge pick, save for a moment, you could see he looked pretty happy, but then the Riki pick came out and then immediately looked pretty crushed. I'm wondering if they had this intention of picking the IO for a while, and Makoto is kind of an answer to that in a way. It seems like it's going to be a really tough matchup. Oh! You just stand still and then you can TP out.
I think Save just wanted to play Riki himself.
Okay.
And it got picked by the enemy team, and it was like, oh, that's all I wanted in my TI main stage. I just wanted to play Riki Pudge. Oh man. Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see. So to unpack a little bit about the laning stage here,
Sure.
Hang on.
He's going to go down. A couple more hits.
Yeah.
Trouble, and 23 Savage off to a hot start.
So I would say this is one of Dawnbreaker's absolute worst lane matchups down bottom. The Undying is really hard to play against. And Talon identified how important that is going to be, and they actually ended up putting Q on Ench to solve this. So specifically, one team counterpicked a lane core with a support, and then the other team countered the 5 with a 4. So it's a pretty interesting dynamic that we see very rarely right now, but it shows a very good understanding on both sides of they know how important this Dawnbreaker is from the way Talon is going to play, and therefore both teams are really trying to protect it a lot with the draft. What happened after that, I cannot really explain how that plays into the whole thing with the whole Pudge and the Riki. I think there's a lot of surprise going on here for both teams. I think Pudge is good against Willow, so perhaps that is a part of the logic here, was that they were expecting a core Willow. But I mean, to say that, they're off to a good start top on the Willow Marci lanes.
Absolutely. And I like this little play that we've been seeing. The dispose into Brim.
Oh my
He's
God.
really fat, so he walked through another one. And they managed to get another kill onto Pure. That is not the way he wanted this to go.
It is a really cool pairing with Willow. Any hero that has displacement abilities is so interesting because you can get people to hit multiple Brambles, right? Bramble Maze is kind of balanced around you getting hit by it once and how much damage it does. So if you have a hero that can force the enemy team to get hit by 2 or even 3, suddenly this hero is just one of the strongest laners in all of Dota, right? Bramble Maze level 1 does how much damage is it on 1? Like, I want to say, let's say 150 or whatever. You get 3 of those. Oh, that's kind of a done deal.
No, it's dangerous for sure. And the other thing that we can sort of keep in mind, it was talked about, and I think that they showed this little graphic too at the beginning. This is the first time that they're playing Undying on Bet Boom this entire tournament as well. So a little bit of a change just in style in general for them. We'll see if they're going to be able to contend with that Enchantress on Q and all the creeps that they're going to be throwing his way.
And he's definitely going to feel comfortable with the hero itself. I would say this was probably Toronto Tokyo's single best hero last patch before some of the changes came through.
Again, so they kept him.
He's strong this time though.
Oh yeah.
The lesson for
Save pops the salve, and that does create some issues.
2 bracers, overcharge. Hard to kill.
Big boy. Big boy finds a hook. Nothing else.
and you don't.
3-0 start. But going to be an interesting match, as it does feel like after...
bottom.
Oh, and they go on him. Tokyo wants to chase. The pushback, that's a good one with Deadshot. That Celestial Hammer means Jabs gets away. And of course, this is going to happen if Enchantress leaves the lane for any amount of time.
It did cost them the Tombstone, though. So Jabs is going to have a little moment of opportunity here. Maybe they'll make an aggressive move with the Ench coming in. Oh, and he's found the mana burn creep. Just going to make Tokyo basically useless until he goes back to base here. Has burned him down to 50 mana. Undying with no mana is just nothing, you know? It's a melee support that's kind of slow.
Dude has Windlace.
Yeah.
Real bad.
I'd be curious to see what he chooses to do now on the Undying if he's going to go back to base. He's sending out one Clarity, a Raindrop, and a Blood Grenade. So it's going to take him quite a bit of time to get his mana back up with just a Clarity, no Mangoes.
Meantime, the movement in towards mid to try and see if they can hunt a GPK. Brought 3 heroes total with Makoto in tow.
Yeah, they have the Purge Creep.
Radiant are scanning.
Good one.
They get an angle. GPK knows that this is happening. The 6-minute mark, runes are coming out. It does look like it's going to spawn top with an illusion. And a good job by the Invoker to stay pretty far back.
Yeah, played it very safe there, as he should.
Nothing gained out of that movement yet. They are still hanging around that area, though. Instead, the wraparound is going up top. Kodo,
yeah, this one's going to be less expected, I think. Diving this tier 1 tower this early.
Oh, and then pulls him back into the cloud. That's really nice. Didn't quite get the Bramble connection, but Save trying to escape, needs another hit. 3 Savage in very far, and now Pure right on top of him. They're trying to buy some time. The hook, it does land. 23 gets lifted up. Nice tornado, and Ollie also going to fall. GPK with the clutch rotation is down bottom. They're chasing Jabs. Tombstone on him. Starbreaker hits. Jabs wanting to make his way through the gate to escape. Still has stick charges as they pull him back in with the fear. Jabs, hammer, jumps away. Does he get out of there? 18 HP and he's out. Oh no, never mind. He got passed.
I'm not quite sure what Nightfall was going for, deadshotting him there. Maybe he feels like it's the last opportunity he's going to get to reliably hit it before the Celestial Hammer gets him away. But ideally, you want to hit that afterwards, right? So you can just fear him back into you when he's coming out. It ended up working with the Decay, but that was pretty close. Still, it's a big kill for them. And I want to say, overall, in quite a few of BetBoom's games as of late, GPK has not necessarily been off to the hottest of starts. This is a good one for him. So the Invoker having a great start here.
He shows up and Pure didn't stand a chance. They brought in a lot of people for that kill, and Save trying to escape. Throw out the Terrorize. He's still running that direction. So that won't actually help, but nonetheless.
Okay.
Makoto tricks the trade. No, good cold snap there. Sure that he couldn't dodge it. No mana now on Riki.
I think he wanted to show them that he did it.
Okay.
It's a mental play for later. If they're ever like, oh, I'm hearing Terrorize, they know it's coming and they know it's a hit. And it's about whether it matters or not. Different. So that one did not matter.
Oh, it's a similar idea for the hooks as Pure throws one out there on the 23rd.
Now, this doesn't send the same message. If you throw out a hook and miss that, that does not work the same as throwing out a Terrorize that hits and doesn't kill him.
To be fair, is playing around this ward, which has gotten them a lot of value. I think that's 2 hooks now that have been dodged because of it.
Yeah, it's a very standard thing to do against side lane Pudge is to get that vision. You could argue that BetBoom should be checking for this with this entry. I think that would be a quite decent investment with the side lane and how this has been played so far. But if nothing else, the farm is still looking okay for Pure. He has 3 deaths, but his net worth is still looking relatively healthy. He's still ahead of the Dawnbreaker, right? To start, and as we mentioned, the Invoker mid is the big breadwinner right now. Rushing a Vessel is going to be GPK. He has it in 100 gold. And there's some decent Vessel kill targets here, right? You're countering the lifesteal of Marci's sidekick, you're countering the heal of Ench, and you're countering the heal of Luminosity, Dawnbreaker. So all of these little things that sometimes make a bigger difference than you would think are going to make a very small one now.
Not much less strong against the fighting that's in this direction. There was a courier kill a while ago on Save, which is why he wasn't able to do too much there as far as bringing out wards, I think. But Pure is making the move through after stacking up and taking that other hard camp. Already has phase boots done and looking for an opening. Odo is down bottom, does see all of this play, and with 4 heroes,
Radiant's
Decide to
top
bring
tower
numbers.
is
They're
under
going to
attack.
TP in one. The Cloud down, interrupting their fight. Now the Dawnbreaker ult coming in. Jabs wanting to get on to Nightfall. No follow-up. Still good AoE damage. The dead shot. Ooh, almost into the hook. Instead, it's Toronto-Tokyo that's held behind.
That is honestly a really good result for
Radiant's
Bedlam.
top tower is under
When
attack.
Riki has that good of a placement, he gets all the information possible and starts off with the smoke screen. The Brambles just have to hit there, right?
Radiant's
From
middle
23, and he
tower is
missed
under attack.
on all of the potential targets, so they got to disengage. That could have got really, really scary for Bedlam, so I would say, given the circumstances, I would count that as a win, only losing your 5 there.
The Midas tracker, at least in this game, so far is only going to be at 1 for the Willow, which does feel like it fits pretty well with what you want to be doing.
Yeah.
Ollie, in the
Dire's
meantime,
structures are
does
fortified.
need to back out. No mana and had rebound on
Dire's top
cooldown.
tower is under attack.
It's funny because usually, you know, at a tournament like
Radiant
TI,
are scanning.
when the meta develops and teams get used to certain
Radiant
things,
structures
when you throw a
are
complete curveball like this, I'm very curious to see how
Dire's
Bedlam
top
just
tower is under
adjusts to
attack.
playing
Dire's
against
top
just
tower
Riki in
has
general.
fallen.
Like,
Yeah.
let's say everything in the game is the same as
Radiant's
always, but now
bottom
there's a
tower
Riki.
is under
The
attack.
style of play is just so different, and when Mikoto's off the map on this hero compared to what he usually plays, the dynamic is just, you know, you're kind of getting paranoid, you know, how you're going to place your
Dire's
heroes,
middle tower
are you going to
is under
over-rotate
attack.
for protection, and there's, you know, I start seeing ghosts when there's nobody even there, Mikoto's just farming jungle, you know? It's a very unique hero in that
structures are
regard, and the
fortified.
Dawnbreaker combo is just
Dire's
super
middle tower
scary.
is under
When Riki
attack.
gets Diffusal Blade, he can just go on any hero, diffuse them in smokescreen, and they use Dawnbreaker ulti, and with that Solar Guardian connecting, you're killing any hero in the game.
Well, and right now,
Dire's
too, there's no
middle tower
force
is
staffs,
under
but
attack.
eventually, as a nice dodge by Jabs, there's also the threat of the Riki Shard.
Yep,
which we have
absolutely.
not even talked about or seen that much in competitive play. Hero's been super dead.
And even if you play this hero as mid, I think Riki has a tendency to not be that high on net worth because he doesn't have the best way of farming, so he's more likely to receive the shard. I guess that is a very dead Toronto-Tokyo.
Didn't stand a chance.
Got Marci. There's just something about Marci's face after she punches you that hard. Like, this hero just absolutely obliterates you. You just look at her, she's just smiling. It's like a Tarantino movie. It's like this nice, happy music playing while somebody's getting killed. That's
Radiant's
what this
bottom
reminds me
tower
of.
is
a little
under
bit
attack.
horrific.
Are scanning.
Yeah, that's your Uncanny Valley, something about it.
Yeah. Don't judge a book by its cover.
To be honest, it's similar from Enchantress. They kind of have it going with both of them.
True.
Kodo, he's the stack being made. He is in it. This is a
Radiant's
precarious
middle
spot. He's
tower
under a
is under
sentry
attack.
ward. But I mean, this is the problem. How do you kill this guy? He's just sitting here and they can't do anything about it.
It's gathering
Radiant's
a lot of
top tower
information.
is under attack.
Mid tower will be almost taken out by Enchantress on her own. So,
Oh, Bedlam Riki. I hadn't even thought of that.
true. Bedlam is also nice here. I don't know how this works.
With tricks of the trade.
Yeah.
I would imagine it stays right on top, but we'll
So
see.
if
I'm
you
sure.
Bedlam Riki and he jumps into Dawn, and Dawn ults globally onto an entry.
Right? Well,
Right.
well, for now, Bet Boom, they're going to relocate and set up for the kill onto Jabs.
Nice stack and play cheap there.
That should set up for the mid tower going down, though. Yeah, Q takes that one away. So,
Is that a full axe? No. It's, I was like, he got really farmed. He has half the
Are
axe.
scanning.
okay.
Rick his way up.
Dire's
Full
bottom
defusal.
tower is under attack.
Dawn does have Solar Guardian back up again, and Makoto, they see this. He jumps, and there it is. Dawnbreaker ultimate right away. Do they have enough to keep him alive? No.
It is so difficult to protect against
This will
this.
provide.
In theory, Io is one of the
Radiant
best
are
heroes for
scanning.
this, right? But Relocate, they knew it was on cooldown, so a nice little snipe here from Talon, who now, ever so quietly, have amassed a 3,000 net worth late game. The mid tower obviously plays a part in that, but if anything, 23 is just completely uncontested on his Dark Willow with Midas. Clearly out farming the Muerta.
Very close towards that Aghanim Scepter. And again, as Bedboom, you got to start thinking like, oh, the smoke there is going to break onto GPK. They're going to walk right up the high ground, not that afraid. Makoto is there. Get away from me. Hurricane. But you got to start to wonder if you're feeling the nerves of recognizing you're one game away from being eliminated from this tournament. You got to get something happening, but you're just losing hero after hero. Makoto thought about going in for more. Doesn't need to.
I just feel like Dawnbreaker kind of fits the bill too for the smiley face that we just talked about. They have 3 of them. Imagine you get ganked by these 3 heroes. They're just walking away smiling, you know?
It's a murderous rampage. Smile on
Radiant's
their
bottom
face.
tower
Yep.
is under attack.
Oh, that's a dead Undying again. Toronto Tokyo is going to have a rough one. They picked it to win the lane.
Radiant
They kind of
structures are
didn't.
fortified.
They did fine. I mean, Muerta is definitely enabled here, but this is a very steep recovery curve for an Undying who has like no net worth, right? He has 2k net worth, so does the Wisp. Look at the other side.
Radiant's bottom
The net
tower
worth
is
differential
under
on the
attack.
supports is really crucial in this game. That extra utility item, pure, get the
About to
hook.
get worse.
But
That is not the hook that they wanted. Makoto's there too, but they do get the relocate away, and that means
That's a
Io's
dead
gonna be dead. Tough stuff.
Radiant's bottom
Cinder, and this
tower
is
is under
looking more and more desperate for BetBoom. Is there a case where they start to get stronger eventually? Like, is it you see to play around the Pudge Jags? What's the call now for BetBoom?
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
well, their lineup in essence has one catch that is reliable, and that's Tornado, right? You can try to play off a hook, but the problem with this Riki matchup for the Pudge is that you're just scouted a lot of the time, so it's hard to get these surprise plays going. Even if you smoke and you break on the Riki can maybe just escape with tricks of the trade smoke screen and get away from you even. So that won't work. I think we're looking at something like, yeah, get the Pudge Ags and look for a smoke move collapsing on the mid tower perhaps. Get something going where Tombstone starts playing a role. Get your Invoker to have more of an impact, because you mentioned DPK was off to a hot start in this game. And since then it really quieted down. He's 2-0-1. 2 of those kills happened at the top tower when Talon dove, minute 6. So there hasn't really been much initiative taken by BetBoom.
He's about to show on the mid wave with the rest of Talon heading over this direction.
Just, oh no.
Smoke, save, they're on him right away. Toronto Tokyo already drops down the Tombstone. Maybe this could actually work for them with the Dawnbreaker ultimate. Now the Tornado comes out. They explode! That was the fight that BetBoom needed, and the hook back in finds jabs. Perfect for
That
BetBoom.
is so huge for BetBoom. That's a 3,000 net worth swing right there. They activate their lineup a lot. This is going to be Pudge Ags. I don't know if Jabs had ulti on cooldown or if he thought they were going to kill the IO without it, but essentially he waited too long. That ended up costing them. That's another one here.
Finding 23 Savage, Terrorize, it's not happening. BetBoom! They turn something into nothing, or rather flip that around. It's Talon that's doing the other one.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
100 gold swing throughout the course of these couple of minutes here. Wait, is Save dead? Suddenly Ollie shows up and is going to find the finish on to Save. Wait, Makoto's here too. Hold on, GPK maybe going to try and turn this. They get the disarm, but it's not enough. Now he has to run. Maybe it was something in there. I don't know.
I mean, I guess it's not really surprising that Pudge versus Riki is making for a chaotic game. I think that's just a given, you know? It's going to be crazy. It's going to be surprising the way the teams catch each other off guard. And now that we've seen this last fight unfold from Talon, I don't think they're going to make the same mistake again. I think if Riki gets on top of IO, next time they're going to instantly use Solar Guardian. You just need to get this Wisp out of play so that you can snowball the fight. What ended up happening last time around was that Save got to reset and get out, got saved by his team, and they got those nice 3 kills out of it. So definitely a little bit of a learning experience there for Talon. Fortunately, these 2 recovery kills for them kind of salvaged the deal decently. So they're now back up 3k again.
Right. I mean, that like 5k mark of net worth lead is one that really is like a turning point. You get 1 kill and you're already in the lead. Suddenly the game feels out of hand. Now they're kind of still in that back and forth situation and starting to get into some of these defensive items to help against the Riki. Muerta has Force Staff coming out right now. Invoker's trying to build into it too. Yeah. Or rather into the full Hurricane fight, because he already has Force.
But that's a really good point about the Riki shard, right? Now it's just getting better and better.
Yeah.
We'll see if Makoto actually chooses to buy it this game instead of hoping to get it from the Tormentor, just because it feels like the way these games, these fights are going to transpire is that he wants to jump somebody, start off the fight and isolate and kill that target, and then jump to the next, right? There's no other reliable catch in their team that's going to set him up, like a targeted stun or whatever. So a lot of the initiative that is on his shoulders, and if he's playing against 3 Force Staffs and they just keep repositioning, he's not really going to get the job done. And it also, in turn, getting that shard makes Dawn's game so much better, right? So you want to enable your teammates like that, and it's a relatively small price to pay to pull that up. You'll finish the BKB first, though. 400 to go. And yeah, I guess worth mentioning as well, while all of this stuff has been happening, Nightfall has quietly taken over the top net worth spot, right? With this death on the Willow, Muerta is starting to get really big.
Strong Muerta steps forward, and Invis will find Makoto. They do much to him there. Good God, but he didn't hit. Just off the mark with that dead shot. That would have been it. Oh, Sunstrike not quite going to connect, but Spirit Vessel still burning Makoto down. That was so close to a clutch kill.
That is 100% a kill with a connected shot. So big escape from Makoto there getting out. I like the way they set it up with the tornado into calling. Placed really nicely so Makoto had no chance of getting off. Picks up the trade, but that was the last time in this game that they're going to be able to pull this combo off because it's going to BKB in 100 gold. And then this play doesn't exist anymore.
Up top, finding jabs, relocate in. Got him there. Gets bit. Do they have enough? Terrorize out jabs. He lives for a moment. Solar Guardian with the tornado for the lift up. That's enough for the kill. Makoto plays cleanup. That's two dead for the price of one. GPK able to escape.
You wanna? That's something Bedboom's lineup doesn't really do particularly well without Muerta being involved. They don't kill quickly, right? They don't have any sort of significant burst damage until Invoker maxes out Exort. So if you're killing someone next to a tower, you bet the rotations are going to come in and help out there. So while Jabs does die, he's a very tanky strength hero. It's going to take a while. The numbers just weren't enough. Triple one for them.
Talon trying to get set up for their late game scenario now. They have a Hand of Midas done on the Enchantress as well as the Willow.
Oh boy.
So they're at the very least eyeing that future that could come out. And Riki queuing up the shards, so
Yeah.
Makoto recognizing the value of it.
That's going to be so big for them, this shard up. It effectively is... I love that Save is already queuing up the Ghost Scepter. He knows what's going on here. Like, that's this type of game. When Riki gets Nullifier, Io is going to be just terrified the rest of the game, but it's quite a big expense to get that item first, so there will be a nice timing that he feels relatively safe.
Makoto hunting for save. They've already dropped the Tombstone down now to secure themselves Aegis. And with Pierce the Veil, this will happen.
Pierce the Veil of Equity.
Yeah, there's no equity. I mean, Nightfall's going to be a problem. That is something to be pretty concerned about for Talon, as Bedboom now maybe starting to eye up a couple more of these towers.
Dota really has changed, hasn't it? Ursa is no longer the Roche King.
No.
There's a new queen in town here, where it's so fast at killing Roche. A little bit of an amplify there coming in from the Invoker.
It is interesting, though, because after you get that Roche kill with Muerta, you have to run away.
Yeah.
Because you need Pierce the Veil to fight.
Yep.
So you can kind of just keep going.
Shard going the way here of Q. A really nice one for him to get for free. Getting that Sproink with Pike is very, very nice. He has so much damage. We've talked a lot about the cores. Look at Ench's net worth.
Yeah.
What in the world?
Dude,
he has the same net worth as the mid-invoker almost.
Ench is a problem. Q
is huge.
He was going to start dealing out a lot of damage, all with a smile on his face.
Yep. It's actually, it's really important because Ench has such a good matchup against Pudge, right? So you're running this tanky frontline boy that's meant to tank up the whole thing, but your Flesh Heap isn't particularly useful against Enchantress because her individual damage instances are extremely high, so you're not blocking that much. It's way more useful against, say, something like small hits from Dark Willow ulti, for example. Jix doesn't do much damage with the Bedlam, but man, this Enchantress is the hero to watch right now for me this game. Q could come up big, as he has for Talon minigames this tournament. We've had analysts saying his praises, saying that when Talon does well, it's Q playmaking super hard on heroes like the Red Spirit we saw last game. He's a less characteristic playmaking hero in a way. At the same time, from an early game perspective, it makes a lot of sense that he would love this one.
Right.
Very dominant, pressuring lanes.
Well, and I think for a lot of people, you think about what Sproink is, and people are just like, well, you're still running the same problem. Your chances run out of mana, you can't able to do that much, but not really the case in this one. Well, that's a good way to deal with her, although the Hurricane Pike gets away, and then the Sproink, the jump out, jabs on top of save, hits the stun on a GPK, now 23 Savage from deep, trying to bring down Pure. They relocate him out! Oh,
That's a good call, honestly.
But Nightfall is now all alone. They want to chase anymore? No, they're going to get him out. Okay.
Yeah, so they have to reload him out. I think the Deafening Blast from GPK there kind of saved the whole situation. If that does not fly in when it does, Ollie would have connected the rebound and they might have just killed them off. But at the very least, they reset the fight, get their Pudge out of trouble, and yeah, Muerta coming in for a bit of an ult doesn't really help when there's no lockdown in play. Everybody just kind of runs away.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
So, stabilize the situation that you do, and
Dire's
probably the reward for this might be a top tier 2 tower. Nightfall really wants to put some pressure here. He still has the Aegis for a while. And it looks like Talon or not holding this. So we'll go their way.
Radiant are scanning.
Well, and I'm thinking back to what Moon was talking about a little bit during the draft, this matchup that eventually happens of the Dark Willow and the Muerta, and you know, neither hero really being targetable when they're in their abilities. So it's maybe going to come down to some of these other heroes and see how it works. If Pure can actually stay on top of a target and you know, shut down this Willow, it'll be something to watch for. But they're smoked up as 5. GPK leading the charge, runs right near Jabs. Q all alone, and with the tornado lift up, Pure there to follow up. Gets the 4th staff away, but more than enough.
It's a pretty big kill. A lot of gold for just killing a support. I will say the support with Asterisk because he's actually got more net worth than his offlaner. So thinking of the Enchantress as a support is probably wrong. It's a flat-out core kill. They also get the tower. So nice little sequence here from BetBoom. Top tier 2, bottom tier 1, core kill. See if they can get more out of this Aegis now. 50 seconds left. The wave is coming. No alacrity available though. Joker is showing mid.
Riki coming in from 23. Riki being on the other side of the map makes this a hard fight for Talon. They'll throw down the brambles and start to do some damage. 4th staff gets Nightfall away from trouble after the calling. Still no Riki, still no Invoker.
Kodo's going to get to work on the Nullifier as expected.
BK spots him. Now the relocate. BKB, Makoto tries to jump away. Link strike, but still in vision just to the side. Hunt's there. Can they chase him down? Does not look like it. Makoto gets some separation.
Save almost got found on the reload back there. They weren't quite in position yet. I think they didn't know where the relocate came from.
He's caught there. Now, hammer, jump, BKB, Pure gets out. Toronto Tokyo, tombstone down, it's already dead. Kodo will jump before the EMP comes out. Not a ton of mana, good calling. Silence on the 2. More of this cat and mouse game going on between these two sides.
Ramble accuracy again leaves a lot to be desired here. I feel like 23 has not exactly been on point with them this game. It's also, you know, you don't have the most obvious setup. You don't have like a clear stun that's just going to make you hit the brambles, but these moments, if they do connect, it's a very different story. So perhaps to be just a little bit closer. It is a bit of a range issue some of the times.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. BetBoom versus Tormentor. A tale as old as time.
Save.
Will they survive?
Oh, save. Oh, no.
They survive.
All right, he's good.
And that...
Crowd's excited about that one.
That will be your favorite shard in the game. Grab ally.
Oh, is that my call? Okay, yeah. I'm going to ruin my voice. Grab ally.
That sounded pretty dumb. So that was a good impersonation.
Oh, no.
Very good.
28.5 minutes in. Haste. And that nullifier, a little ways away from Makoto. But yeah, in a couple minutes here, we've still got Roche, minute 30 till it's capable of respawning. Holding on to this area, do they want to test Pure? I mean, it really kind of feels like there's not great targets to go on unless you can get that IO. Even like Undying doesn't feel great now that he can grab himself.
For sure. It is definitely a matter of the Riki item coming out. The nullifier is just too crucial here. You don't have to take fights if you don't want to. Like, your lineup just becomes so much easier to play in 1500 gold. You're also 1500 away from an Ench BKB, which will also be huge. I will be looking at her as a potential game-winning hero here. Jabs closing in on a Deso as well. There's a lot of damage available very soon for them. On the side of BetBoom, you're not getting much more new survivability anytime soon, so the equation, so to speak, is very much favoring them right now with the items that they have just completed, and they will try to make use of that by popping a smoke here. happening in Pure in front.
Hunt.
Breaking.
Ollie spots it. Oh, put fingers on Pure. It is the least valuable hero they could have killed, but they did get her. Get a ward.
Nothing like some fleshy.
Jack to be up at
Every kill 2 strength.
only at 8.
Adds up.
Head on through as Roche. How long is it going to be now? Seconds, jabs. GPK's there again. Another relocate move. Jabs. Wants to get out with the hook. Nicely done by Pure. Another very important kill that time. GPK liking what he's seeing. This is their window that you called out.
GPK is like, this is not like the Pudges I play with in my pub games. I wish I had this Pudge on my team every game.
Positivity.
Yep.
Flowing in the pod. Toto still just looking to AFK farm a bit here. Along with the rest of Talon. Do not want to go into these fights, and they are going to start heading down this direction, though.
Yeah, again, their Midases are just slowly but steadily starting to build toward these key items. That's a nullifier. That's a big one. So Mikoto now effectively can just kill Io, and there's no solution except grab ally.
Oh, there you go.
I think Toronto.
Wait, can he target it?
Should be able to.
Okay, or he can hop in, but we'll see.
Dire are scanning.
As
I'd be very surprised if he can't just save him there.
your waiting. Warpine Raider got him.
Oh,
It's just practicing.
he's just standing still.
Knows they're over here, and now a smoke coming from Bed Boom.
Big moment. Both teams looking for an angle.
Radiant
Obviously, we've
are
already
scanning.
established which items are and aren't there. The Ench BKB you were talking about, not quite ready. 400 gold away. Could be a big factor in this fight if they find and kill Q. Very well worth targeting the Ench, in my opinion. So,
That boom, they saw that Roche was up. I'm not quite sure if Talon spotted it themselves. Shot goes out. They know they're over there. Looking at some good vision. Sunstrike hits them. Does not know it as there's still smoke. Now smoke breaks. GPK's there. He reveals them. Pure walks up there. The hook, it's going to connect. On to 23. Jabs runs right into the midst of all of them. But then the jump from Ollie. Turns, wants to do what damage they can. Makoto finds one, but it's not on the Io. Nonetheless, they did manage to kill off the Pudge. Dead for a minute. Bet Boom, what do you have left in the tank?
and they even did a pretty good save there. That was a very quick tombstone save onto the Pudge, but they're just destroying the tombstone with the support Marci ult.
Makoto away from the rest of his team. The Dawn ultimate comes down. He's able to jump away. 3 shot. Nightfall just evaporated one. Now Feared in trouble. Has to back out of there, even disposing to try and get a little bit of extra separation. All right, Nightfall hits hard. Battery Savage gonna get caught by the decay, low on mana. They get some vision. Makoto trying to find the backline. Can they kill him off? Yes! They take down the Muerta. Can they get any more? Toronto, Tokyo, they run to 23 Savage and the relocate gets them out. GPK found, they run right into it, but nothing left in the tank to break the TP.
That is such an unexpected kill for Nightfall, though. It was Ench and Riki just combining. He was next to his Io and still couldn't be saved.
What a fight.
It's really well done with the Ench. Massive burst of damage together with Riki is enough to take out Muerta. With no ulti in the tank and no BKB, you are a very vulnerable hero in situations like these, and I don't really blame him for feeling relatively confident there. He's next to his Io, thinks he can probably get reload out, but the kill's just too quick.
I mean, it does show, as you're going to see in a moment, 2,600 damage done in just a second onto Jabs. Bang, 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 bang. It's just gone. I mean, that's got to worry you a little bit if you're Talon, right? Or do you think that they're still okay after getting the Aegis?
I mean, it's definitely worrisome if Muerta gets to just play into them, but the good news is they have relatively good mobility, right?
Yeah.
Talked about how it's hard for Muerta to target the Willow. Willow now has level 20 talent, which is the big one, and Octarine. So we're going to see the end of this kill here. Yeah, if they had anything to GPK. But yeah, Willow is going to be a hard target for Muerta. Riki is going to be a hard target for Muerta. So yeah, she's going to obliterate Jabs. There's no doubt about that. But what about the secondaries? Can you kill the Ench is the other question.
Right.
Ench has pretty good repositioning with the Sprite, with the Pike. She can get out of trouble.
The other thing to watch for, I'm thinking about here, is going to be this Blade Mill. Only one in the game, believe it or not, currently on the Dawnbreaker. And you think about what happened earlier, if that goes on again, Muerta might just blow herself up. Very little survivability on this hero.
You've got to be careful with how you interact with that. Obviously, you're going to have some extra layer of protection with the healing, PvE. Definitely still could be a bit of an X factor if things play out the way that they... I mean, we've seen a couple of previous Dawnbreaker kills where Muerta did drop to like half, right? So it is definitely a concern if the BKB and protection isn't there in the supports. 4K lead.
It has a sort of similar feeling to last game, doesn't it? That you get these big fights, the only objective that's being secured is Roche.
I have this classic Talon late game feeling. Guys, we're just going to go super late with our classic core combination of Riki and Willow. When I think Talon late game, I think Spectre.
Right.
Not this. So I also wonder how experienced they are themselves at playing these heroes at the 60-minute mark, which I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but, you know, just judging from how these games have been so far, I think it's relatively likely we'll get there. I think for both teams, it's kind of uncharted territory, right? Like, playing against a Riki an hour into the game, how often do you do that? Oh, GPK just barely getting off the Ghost Walk there.
Man. That would have been a little bit scary if they'd been able to quite connect onto that one.
The artillery has arrived, so it begins. Dark Willow, the bajillion attack range, with sidekick, and with a very low downtime on Shadow Realm.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Cooldown 9 seconds, duration 7.
Decided to look it up while you were asking. 5 competitive games on Riki from what I can see on Makoto. Last one in 2021, unless there's something I'm missing here. But Muir jumps in and finds jabs right away. Nightfall in tow and now turning on to Makoto. Heal coming out, trying to keep Save alive. It's not going to happen, and Nightfall just going to go for the BKB TP out.
Good trade for Bedbone. They kill a core for support, and they force a full-on rotation from all of Talon's heroes. So, gonna give them some time to push out the waves and get the map back under control. GPK will spend this time trying to improve his Hex, but okay, let's use the gem here, so we'll be aware of the circumstances.
It's gonna be, I mean, that's the thing is, like, obviously late game Dota becomes also just this battle of vision and carrying the gem, making sure you're not underneath a ward. All the more important when there's a Riki in the game. He may have gotten himself stuck somewhere.
He piked himself up to the high ground, but fortunately his hero can just bramble maze the camp, and then it runs over and he can hit it from 1,000 range.
Very good.
So the new generation of Nature's Prophet cliff farming is in town.
Take notes, everybody.
And the difference is you can't do it from level 1 on Dark Willow. You do need 20,000 net worth. But then,
right.
That's great. Actually, maybe you can do it. No. You need a way to get on the cliff.
Right,
Then
exactly.
you can actually farm from it.
What Bramble should is Prophet. Level 1 cliff jungler. Is there anywhere you can do it anymore? I guess over on like the Radiant side off lane. Somewhere over there.
Yeah, I suppose maybe. Don't give them ideas.
Sorry, my bad. 38 minutes in. That tier 4 neutral items are coming out. That boom. Having already got a trick circle. Yeah, that'll be pretty nifty. But it really does feel like if anybody wants to push the tempo right now, it's going to have to be Bedlam. Talon are very happy sitting back farming. He'll go on the cliff again. Don't think he won't. He's still very even in terms of the Dota Plus win probability.
He was eyeing up the Deso for a while, changed his build completely, went the defensive route rather than the offensive one. Tired of getting dismembered is what I'm getting at here. But he can still get dismembered because Pure has an E-Blade. So he can break the linkage anyway when he goes in. But I guess when you're already bought the recipe for the linkage, you're not really going to change your mind.
Not even a little.
You're committed.
Pretty helpful. I mean, I think that, again, anything to make the fights more complicated for BetBoom, because there's, you know, 3 different heroes that deal massive amounts of damage really quickly in the Ench, the Willow, and the Riki. Having somebody that can just kind of stand there and nothing can deal with them, I think that's really helpful for Jabs. Front line. This guard is now completed.
I actually wonder if he should buy Heart. I don't even think that's a bad idea here on the Dawn, because, yeah, usually Dawn wants to scale in terms of physical damage output, right, become a real threat late game, but since you have the Ench doing so much damage from the support position, maybe you can just become, like you said, just a full-on frontline tank.
Blade Mail Heart,
take all that damage. It's just not a classic Dawn build. That's the thing. I mean, there's a lot of other heroes, so it's just a no-brainer. Oh, you're playing Primal. Oh, wow, we went Blade Mail Heart. How innovative. But on this hero, it's actually pretty rare because you want to get value out of the Starbreaker. But at the very least with a Heart, it also does give you some damage, right? The strength is still valuable. Well, we'll see.
I'm also seeing here, you know, something that you don't often notice is the Undying at 10K network. He's already got the Boots of Buried and the Solar Crest.
Yep, I don't know if he's getting there.
He'll accelerate into that much more. Something to watch for. But it literally has just been hanging out mid, you know, farming out the entire side of the map that they're on. There is a refresher that's now completed on Muerta. So a second salvo in these fights cause some issues for Talon if they can get to that moment.
Yeah, Nightfall's actually relatively close to being maxed out here, right? There's not that much more he wants to replace. Maybe the treads for a Swift Blink or something like that, but definitely has what he wants to fight.
Together, buddy heading to the same area where they know Roche could respawn soon.
Under attack.
Oh, they're moving right into position. Q is going to be the first point of contact. Get over it! Oh, jump hook!
Not a time!
Wow.
Immediately off guard.
23 Savage is kind of in no man's land here, too. The tornado is actually going to hit him. Makoto looking for a backline to jump at, and BKB, they chase forward, want to find the kill onto him, and meanwhile, they go for the Dawnbreaker ultimate. Ends up pulling himself away. Dying is gone. Can they get any more? Ollie's starting to fall. Nightfall chasing a couple more hits. It's enough. Sunstrike follow-up. 23 Savage is in trouble. You're caught him with that one. Makoto trying to find another target, but he's not able to bring down GPK. The Sprink away. 23 Savage still living through this. Goes back into the Shadow Realm and is actually living through it. The Hurricane Pike into separation. That's out of there. Talon are somehow making this fight work for themselves. As Save is chased, Save is gone. There will be no relocate out of this. Can they find any more? Doesn't quite look like it. How did that go so well for Talon?
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
As soon as Pierce the Veil is down, I don't know if they have the burst damage to kill this Willow in the 2-second windows that they're getting.
Yeah.
Which isn't even anymore because he got Spell Prism. So he doesn't Shadow Realm 90% of the fight. Shadow Realm is 7 seconds duration and 7.9 second cooldown. So the moments of opportunity are just so small. You're going to see it here, right? So just notice how little time they have.
Yeah.
Radiant's middle tower
It's
is under
okay.
attack.
And I mean, I do kind of wonder, like, what's the job here of, does Pure just need to jump onto her and just sort of stay on target? Because it feels like there needs to be some way to sort of force 23 Savage into a weird position.
I mean, he's trying.
I know, it's true. It's
Radiant
tough, though.
are scanning.
Man.
He somehow got Shadow Realm off while dismembered there, right? That must have happened at the exact same time.
I've never seen that before.
Crazy. Crazy scenes.
As Roche will be claimed.
Now, who do you give the axe to? Makoto is a candidate here. He will not get it. They will put it on Jabs. So that will be the improved Solar Guardian that gives evasion. Wow. And that is a pretty strong axe in this game, right? It's a lot of just that additional duration. First of all, there's a couple of things happening when you have this. You give the targets in the ring 60% evasion for the entirety of the time you're flying. You get to fly for 3.5 seconds extra, and you can stop it whenever you want. So if you ever need a BKB piercing stun on demand, there it is. And if you ever need to save cores or supports against right clicks, there it is. So that's a bit of a problem for BetBoom that they're going to have to deal with now. Riki almost finishing off the disperser here. Side of BetBoom. Poker will finish Octarine Core, so that's obviously a good one. Refresher is being built by Pure.
Illusion.
Yeah, I honestly think you're right. I think Pure's primary job in the game right now is to just sit in front of Muerta all fight.
It is
like,
so hard though, like you're saying. Like how do you even get there? I mean, to actually find 23 Savage, because if they don't get on him, I mean, we've seen what will happen. Even when Q died at the start of that fight, it felt like it should have been a solid one. It just did not work out.
Are scanning.
Well, he might run into some people here. They have the vision. Spot him. Do you want to go on the Pudge right to
nice
start?
reaction.
Good reactions. Get away. Another situation and moment where it feels like we're on a knife's edge. It could go either team's direction. Dota Plus, very little separating these two teams at 45 minutes, and oftentimes what can end up making the difference is just one fight. Of course, the buyback status that comes out after.
The big hero of this game is Muerta. She's either going to make a game-winning fight, or she's going to get caught off guard one time, die, and the fight collapses. Deadpool do not have enough damage with Nightfall out of ulti or dead, so there's so much riding on them getting value out of this refresher orb and these two back-to-back Pierce the Veils, which is, a grand total of 16 seconds of damage. It's quite a long time. But we've seen from Talon that they've got this really good lineup for just kiting. Riki kites away, the Marci can jump away, the Willow is... Now Willow also has Wind Waker, so she can save another target at this point.
Or herself.
Yeah,
I'm
not sure she's going to need it on herself, to be
fair.
honest, with how it's gone so far. Here comes the artillery, long range, nice hook!
They get it, a freebie!
Oh, that's the Aegis out the window for nothing!
Do they get anything else? Terrorized, waiting for the right moment. BKB finds him, immediately bitten, but the Dawnbreaker ultimate, it's healing Makoto so much! Just get away for free, but Jab's not gonna be so lucky. They managed to get one out of that along with the Aegis. And Talon learned the mantra just another time, never go high ground. Ever. It's not a good thing to do. It's not a good place to be.
I think they learned a second mantra too. Riki is not a frontline.
No.
Did you know?
He died very quickly.
That's just honestly just a bit of a blunder there from Makoto. Like, he does not need to be in front of the tower for any reason there. They're safely sieging it from very far away with the Willow. If 23 somehow gets hooked, he can instantly Wind Waker and fly out of the base and then have his Shadow Realm again. So risk reward, I don't think Riki had a reason to be there. And Pure, he's not gonna let that one slip away. Immediately identifies the blunder and maximum punish, right? Aegis down, secondary kill on the Dawn. So very, very good defense from him. Hook on
Creeps in Toronto, Tokyo.
Oh, see, you're like my farm, and then he missed.
You just gotta let people know.
And Muerta has attack speed, I'll tell you.
Dire's
She's
middle
getting
tower
very
has fallen.
stacked up, and now the evasion not even going to be as effective with MKB completed.
Yep. Still a nice reason for the axe, right? Like, just putting that on Dawn
Dire's bottom tower
kind of
is
forced
under
Nightfall's
attack.
hand. This is an item he didn't want to have.
Dire's
So it means there's
bottom tower
another
has
value item in his inventory now that is not a possibility, just from that axe pickup.
Marci has Basher completed, almost level 20. Again, we have to keep our eyes on these supports, quote unquote.
Absolutely.
Is the Enchantress at 20,000 net worth right now. It's worth noting that Makoto has, in a way, fallen off a little bit relative to where he was, and Q has taken up that space.
Yeah.
But still both very dangerous heroes. The refreshers completed for Pudge.
The level 20 talent on Marci will be the 15% unleashment speed, so it'll be a lot stickier. Fights.
Go down mid. Makoto be looking to eye somebody up there, but
Radiant
save kind of very difficult to get any type of meaningful kill. Now wards drop down. They see everything. Talon, do they want to go for the all-in play? Jump, finds him immediately. BKB Force Staff gets out of trouble. That was the reaction they needed, and you can see Japs immediately gets out of trouble.
If Makoto has an Abyssal there, that's a kill, right?
Yeah.
It's the fact that Talon don't have any instant stun, so you're actually relatively safe as long as your reactions are in order. Just get out of there. So Nightfall not gonna not gonna panic. He's just gonna press the buttons he needs to, get away, and reset. If Riki does go the basher route, that becomes really interesting with his ability to lock down the initial target, but doesn't seem like that's the plan. Currently eyeing up a Linken's. Again, another hero wanting to buy Linken's against Here's Pudge.
Yeah.
He's doing so much work this game on that very uncharacteristic hero. Not for him, but for the tournament.
Well, and the other thing that we might end up seeing eventually is 23 Savage throwing out one of those terrorizes on the Muerta right away, because if she doesn't have her way to get out of there, you've still got to deal with the Riki shenanigans. So that could be something to watch for also. Not easy to get all those things together in perfect concert. It's really rough. As we are now eclipsing the 50-minute mark. And next, Roche.
Gab's good by a Hex. Has the gold for it.
Nice.
But is holding on to it for now. I don't know if this is a commitment from him or if he's still judging whether this is the right idea. Because you could also look at it from the perspective of, okay, like we said, there's the option of the frontline build, there's an option for, you know, a standard, like, let's say AC or whatever, but it doesn't feel that great against Muerta, right? So you're probably not buying that one. So maybe the utility path is just what he's going to go for. I think Refresher is honestly a kind of interesting idea too, right? When you think of how this game is played, he ultis in, the enemy team has to reset away, he can then immediately upon landing, he can blink out and just ulti again. And you're effectively negating a lot of the presence of the Muerta in the fight. Despite having MKB, you always have to thread this. You have to tread carefully because you could get BKB stunned, right? But Donald at any point. So if that ring is just over you, it's kind of difficult to do it. You will opt for the Hex first and foremost. But now Refresher feels really nice too. You don't have mana from with this side. And Linken's mana regions through the roof.
I don't know if you ever get rid of Blade Mail there either, but maybe eventually if you get our best armor.
I think you probably do now.
Yeah.
As the next item. Get rid of that Blade Mail, get the Refresher, or... Yeah.
Ooh, nope, not gonna go for it. You're savage. All right, so check it out. He's also covering his Shadow Realm now with the Wind Waker.
Yep. If toward the end of your Shadow Realm you Wind Waker yourself, you can Shadow Realm again. Effectively untargetable for 17 seconds straight.
And Wind Waker is an 8.6 second cooldown. Sure, finds one.
Linken's.
He gets onto him, but I don't think you're doing anything to this Dark Willow who's hitting Ancients at the moment. The rest of Bet Boom try and back away. Honestly, what the hell do you do against this Dark Willow? This is insanity. I don't know what you're supposed to do. I guess just stay on top of her, but like you got this thing too. The Wind Waker gets her out of there.
I mean, eventually a hero like Invoker can be pretty good because he has ground damage that he can land with a combo. If he catches her in a Hex and he just blasts everything, maybe you get Ags plus Refresher as well for that Cataclysm combo next to Pudge. You know, there's gonna be options. It's obviously super annoying to deal with, and there's a reason this hero has become popular in the latest stage of the tournament after. I'd say primarily Shiro has had the success with it. It's not a new idea per se for these teams that it just came out of nowhere. They knew it from pubs that this was a thing.
Yeah. Sending out the Forge Spirits. Jab the Forge Spirits. Front and center. They also send in the little creeps from Enchantress. At least for now, it's a stare down across the Roche pit area. Interestingly enough, we're going to get pretty close to Roche switching sides in the midst of this fight.
True.
Something Bet will need to be wary of.
And honestly, something really important for Talon this game is that they have the only... Right? I say that there is an IO, so I guess you can consider relocate. The problem is, if you're, let's say you're split pushing a lane with Invoker and IO, right? And they relocate to the fight. You're on a timer to win that fight, or IO will be forced to leave, and it can get really awkward. Dawn ulti is always just going to, you know, just farm wherever he wants. He can take care of the dangerous lane, just throw a hammer and go to Fog. So in this standoff, Bet Boom are never going to threaten high ground. Dawn will always solve it. You don't have to worry about that aspect. Steps on and
Shot pushes out. You know, in all of the craziness that we've been seeing, this is still no Aghanim Scepter on GPK. He's been waiting the entire time to try and get it from Roche. Queued up the Refresher. Steps forward, Bedlam out. They run into anybody. Pure is in an interesting position right there. As is Forge Spirit on Enchantress Creep, and Q is actually TPing top. They're anticipating that it's going to be up on the top side. It's actually going to spawn here early. If BetBoom realize this, they can take Roach very quickly with Muerta.
They might actually kill it.
But no, instead they're going top. Okay, they're trying to preempt it. Position. Yeah, vision down. Makoto, does he step within sentry range? He's right there. They see him. Ooh, just a little difference away from there. Quite gonna fall into range.
BetBoom with a clear positional advantage here, though. Getting through the gate, gives him the high ground.
Makoto, they got him! Disarm! Chase him! Can they get any more? The heck! Already controlling Roach! Run through two! Nightfall now wants to chase Pure. Looking right on top of one. 23 Savage. Going for the Wind Waker, walk away. Now Refresh onto Nightfall, wants to chase. Jabs is there. That's the buyback and the run into the fight. Oh, hook. That would have been a nice one to get, but
I don't know if that would have been good for him. I'm not sure.
I mean, Nightfall still does have the reinitiation if he wants it. Has Pierce the Veil and BKB ready. Tokyo gets hit. Still backs away. He's rooted. The jump force. Oh my god! Where do I have allies? There's nothing! The buyback, it comes out. They got to retreat though. BetBoom need to wait and buy time for the rest of their team to get up close and personal. Blink back after eating one. Toronto Tokyo gonna TP to the outpost. It's a long outpost TP though! Toronto Tokyo is gonna get caught. He couldn't grab his ally. Oh man. Oh geez. And yeah, they're gonna give it up.
Yep, absolutely. They don't have the positional advantage anymore. They don't have Muerta buyback. Dying up there is the end of the game. They will give Talon an advantage here. Refresher Shard now.
Roshan has fallen.
Do you put it on the Dawn or do you put it on the Riki? Question. Riki having his items twice over is really powerful here.
It's like they're putting on jabs. I just think back to what could have been in that moment. Again, obviously, no way to know. But if BetBoom had been in the Roche pit, they could have taken that Roche in time.
Yeah. But it's understandable, right? You just,
of course.
Strictly from an odds perspective, right? Even if they go on the Roche there, they don't know for a fact that Talon have left. So it's like, it's a 20-second window. You could have gone in Muerta ulted and killed it. But in case you do get jumped in there when Muerta's ulting, it's really bad news. So such a difficult decision to make just off the nature of the clock. Like if that was 20 seconds longer, that would have been so easy for BetBoom to make the right call.
Here couldn't quite catch Q. I mean, the ironic thing is that, you know, it's Talon stepping up high ground again. Do they really want to push or do they want to wait for their 60-minute items? They're going to start to hit, but it's not easy going high ground against this. And yeah, the Wind Waker away. The first tier 3 tower taken in the game. 57.5 minutes. Hitting damage, fairly sparse. Ah! Efficient. Yeah. Backs away, Tornado. And another hook, not quite on the mark. Again, it feels like they should be around here to push, but it really is not easy to push at all.
Nope.
Getting the rain tracks from very far.
Almost got it there.
Wind Waker to walk away, and now the hook. Oh, they find Makoto. That's what they needed right away. He's dropping low, but gets out with the cheese. Nicely played. Dawnbreaker ultimate comes through. Jabs, he's in far. Aeon Disc going to be procced. Pure looking for his moment. Dodges from that Terrorize. Willow still hidden. Hard to hit in the midst of all of this. The hook, it's not going to connect.
Yeah, the Tombstone isn't going to help either. No. When you put down the Tombstone, you effectively make Pure's job a lot harder. They defend though. They forced out. So what did they get out of that? A cheese and an Aeon Disc proc. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, right.
Well, the cheese. And they stall. Whittling away at the Aegis timer. 2.5 minutes left. Talon will technically have a little moment of opportunity here with their Midases, where they can immediately Midas 2 tier 5 neutral items and then push high ground while still having Aegis for a minute 20. If they do want to try to get that little advantage there, items, it is a possibility.
Radiant's
oh no, and they use the cheese. They can't make the block of cheese now. Oh, I know. I hear you, crowd. Not happy about that one. Not there.
Yeah, I actually have enough Lotuses almost. You're right.
No.
They're kind of close. Well, there might be another Roche, you know.
Chance. Yor pulls in one. Tornado, all right, Wind Waker away. I see how this is going. And yeah, now he just throws out some more in the Shadow Realm.
Radiant's
Even when you get him, you didn't really get him. So somehow you have to time the hook with Shadow Realm wearing out, and you can get the Dismember after you break the Lincolns as he's flying through. Did I get that right?
I love rocket science. It's my favorite subject.
60 minutes come out. See what Talon managed to claim for themselves.
Yep. Oh, all right. Already a stacked Ancient Camp for Jab, so should get at least one item here unless he's very unlucky. We'll get one there. Take it for himself.
Yu also claims one. Bet Boom out on the side of the map, trying to get themselves a couple of items. No Midases in hand. Oh, Book of Shadows for the Ench.
Mirror Shield is so good against Pudge, too, on jabs, right? Like, you have so much freedom when you jump in on this taunt.
3.
This one melee creep trying to get vision. Oh,
They got him again. Do they have anything to follow it up? Does not appear so. A dead shot. Still sitting with the Lincolns. Right on top. Maybe go for the easier target. Q is there. Good jump if they want. Hook not nearly where they needed it to be. Now the Tornado, but then another walk away, and now they step forward. The Hex connects Makoto. They back out. You're low. You're in trouble. Dead. Does have buyback. They're gonna find anything else. Nightfall starts spraying.
he popped this ult BKB there, so that's one down. Has to swap out the Mjolnir and get Refresher ready.
Still just cannot touch 23 Savage. They do not have an angle on this guy. Playing it so safe and still sitting pretty with everything. 4 staffs forward. Again, Wind Waker pulls him back, and now the Tornado. They are not buying back on Pudge, though, so there's no chance for a kill. So, dealing some more damage. The Hex is there. They bring him down low. Toronto, Tokyo in the grave.
Radiant's middle tower
Talon,
is under attack.
they've gotten to what feels like an unbeatable point now. There's still 50 seconds left on this Pudge. He buys back at this point. GPK. There's the Tornado lift up. Toronto Tokyo wants to find him with the Wind Waker, the walk away. He's back in the Shadow Realm. There's no point to hit this guy. The hook not going to connect. And Talon just sitting pretty right outside the base saying, come hit me, I dare ya. Managed to find this hook. Toronto Tokyo right in front of him. No, the Wind Waker away. The hook not going to connect. It just doesn't seem fair.
It's like Pudge Wars. That one team has every item, and the other one has one Pudge.
I mean, Willow...
It's not... Yeah, it's tough, man. Like, I'm just sitting here in silence waiting for them to somehow connect something, but it's borderline impossible.
Now they find Toronto Tokyo. It doesn't seem like they even care. The Hex was there, but they buy another Lincolns in a second. He's out. I mean, this is definitely some disgusting stuff you're going to see in your pubs. And it feels like the only thing that's going to be a limiting factor is 23 himself. Like him messing up and somehow getting caught.
Yeah, but he is just... Think of how crazy of a safety net he has, right?
Yeah.
He has Wind Waker, Pike, Lincoln's BKB, and Dawn ulti with Ags. Like, what more can you possibly want for a safe siege except an Aegis? Tornado. They hexed him, but he got Realm off.
Okay, and now he runs away. It's Ex Machina for the Pudge, so they managed to get a couple of items while this is going on. Jabs jumps forward, finds it. Toronto Tokyo in trouble, ends up being brought down. That's looking for something, anything. Can they connect onto him? Jabs again gets saved by 23 Savage! He went to save Jabs! And now he gets caught. Wait, 23 Savage fought back. If he dies again, that could be it. Jabs, strike, almost dead, he falls! Disarm onto Q. Signs of life in what felt like a hellscape that was the Radiant base.
Dire's bottom tower is
Patience
under attack.
is the name of the game, and they finally got a bit impatient there and went in too far with the Willow, trying to save Jabs. He will buy back, though. They know they have a 5-on-4. This is quite aggressive.
Yeah, it very much is. I mean, again, an interesting decision to go in at this point. Disarm onto all of them. Goes for the hook, finds him. Now tries to back out, and with the Dawnbreaker ultimate, it's scary. Makoto chasing, hunting. Nightfall gets stunned. Is it going to be long enough duration? Oh, the damage coming out from Nightfall! It's so strong! Already a couple gone. Jabs doesn't have buyback, throws out the Terrorize. The connection is there. Pure needs to back out, wanting to bring down anybody. As they retreat, GPK still on the hunt. The Hex, he immediately found him! GPK is pissed. He wants more. Can they find him? Tornado, lift up. I'm not done with you yet. Get back over here. The Hex comes out, but do they have friends? Can they get there in time? Slowed down. Hook not going to be on the mark. Nightfall chasing, has a dead shot ready. They don't want to chase out of the base.
That was so expensive for Talon. I mean, sure, you don't lose anything critical in terms of any structures, but effectively a window now open for Bedboom. The question is, considering how extremely precise they need to combine their spells to find these kills, it's one thing to do it in your base. How do you do it when you go out on the map and you don't have vision and position advantage, right?
Oh yeah.
Now you have a couple of targets that are really juicy to find. All three cores of the enemy team have expended their buyback, so finding any of them is enormous, but that's the key word here, is finding them, right? It's so difficult to get it set up, but should Bedboom somehow manage, they might just be saving this from about, I think it was about 20,000 net worth disadvantage just a moment ago, turned to 6.
I mean, that is the thing, right? Like, they expended so much on the side of Talon, and what did they get for it? A ranged Rax.
Yeah.
I mean, it really was not what they needed. Another key item that gets picked up at this point, 23 has finished the Revenant's Roach, so a way to connect onto Nightfall and try and bring him down. But it's like what you said, if you manage to find one of these heroes, it could be an issue. If Talon ever get a little bit too separated, oh wait, Roach? Nightfall goes for it, okay.
Yeah, this is just a clean.
There's no way you get here.
It's actually just sustainable. Oh man.
So they managed to claim it. There is a refresher shard still in, which Toronto Tokyo is going to pick up now. And that buyback status that you're talking about, there's a large window here. Let's see what Bedboom can do. Talon.
They have to solve their waves. Their rod wave is way too big. It's actually going to take the lane of Eric's jumps there.
Everybody runs out from that. Somehow we got another one. Who would have thunk it?
This one isn't an 8-minute game, Gabe. This is a 78-minute.
You think so?
This might be longer, actually. It's going to be difficult for Talon to end, right? Because they spent these buybacks, and now they're against a Roche advantage.
Right.
So you're probably just chilling, right? I don't think... They don't have much interest in going aggressive, and if Bedboom try to push, good luck, you know?
No, absolutely.
It's so difficult to push into this Willow, into this Marci catch, into the Ench, just throwing impetuses with huge damage from range. The smoke screen that you can't save people in, like...
You know, I'm going to be honest. I'm like, you know, anticipating that Talon are going to come away with this. You see the craziness from the Dark Will and all that. But I just went through the realization that if Bedboom win, we might have another game like that happens afterwards.
Yep.
I don't know.
Definitely not out of the question.
Well, they're up on the high ground.
Okay, give me your best take. How do you push?
How do you push?
Yeah. How do you get to place all 5 Bedboom heroes perfectly? Let's say they can go wherever they want. How are you going to place them?
Nightfall up front and center.
Okay.
Which is tough because Punch has the Aegis, because he doesn't have buyback. You have Undying right behind him. Willow is tagged onto him there, and then you get the double hit because Willow's 25. But no! Instead, just step up, and that's already a tier 3 tower gone. Wait a minute now, the hook, the connection, he's in trouble! Oh, Bedboom, have you actually done it?
There's a buyback. This is one of the 2 heroes that still have one. That went way better than I expected on the first high ground. That's quite inspiring, honestly, for Bedboom to see this happening. Okay!
Nightfall, get out of there! But the cheese! The save come out from the Isle! Pure! He's in no man's land! One more damage there! Look at the Desolator! The hit's coming in from the Isle! GPK comes out, goes for the disarm, and then the back away. Pudge, back alive again, needs to BKB, needs to escape. The tricks of the trade, chasing, they're waiting for Makoto, want this moment, and they find him! Is it gonna be enough damage? Yes! They take down Makoto! Can they get any more though? Nightfall, the hook, again, Pure, he's on his man. Can they bring down this Willow? Goes for the walk away. And the damage coming out. The Io is doing so much of it. Saving Nightfall, doing it all together, but they managed to kill off that Muerta. Now the buyback. Looks for more Toronto Tokyo with his axe. He's so freaking taking on this Undying. 10,000 HP on Toronto Tokyo. Looking for more. Bet boom. They're going to claim the game. How do you do that? How? How?
That boon team victory.
You were right, Gabe. It didn't reach 70 minutes.